Hello from the Charlotte, North Carolina airport. It's over. We are not in Germany any longer. This morning we boarded our flight from Munich here to the US.
Germany, Europe, this trip, all of it, it's over. Is this the right train?
Can't be sure, but if it's the wrong one, we get to stay longer, baby.
This wasn't a one-way ticket to Europe kind of trip. We do, unfortunately, have return tickets. I say unfortunately, however, our very next adventure is a pretty big one, an official bucket list adventure that we will be attempting. So we're excited for that. However, I don't think you can take a trip like this and it not change you. We got on the wrong train. Bad day to get on the wrong train. We thought this train went to the airport. Turns out it doesn't. We're getting to our last stop, so we gotta get off, switch, hopefully get a taxi, hopefully get a different train. Hopefully make it to the airport. Kind of, not really. Don't really want to go, but we're going. Turns out we're okay. We just gotta wait 5 minutes at this place.
No, 8 minutes, track 5. Oh boy. Is it 5 minutes on track 8 or 8 minutes on track 5? Oh.
This is why we can't get on the right train.
It's S1.
It's too early. Public transportation here is just something else. That was such a breeze to get here, even with our little snafu at the beginning. Amazing. Never been so sad to get a boarding pass. Wow.
Oh, nice flight. Thank you. Nice flight.
Wow, this is magical.
I think we're gonna be the first ones on the plane. Wow, this is nice. On the bucket list to fly first class. We will be doing this one day. One day. One day. American Airlines, want to make it happen? Want to make 2 kids' dreams come true?
10 seconds later.
You're not recording on here, are you?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, you're not allowed to.
Pretty sure you can film with a GoPro on an airplane, right?
I was filming on my phone because it's a big, cool plane. I give up.
You haven't even taken off and you give up already?
I'm too tired.
Mini pretzels. Very disappointing.
Mini pretzels, massive disappointment. Pasta, pretzel, salad, cookie cake, butter, dressing.
Lunch is served. It felt like we were on that flight for days. Like at a certain point I was like, is this a nightmare? Like just a bad dream? We're just living on this flight, just sitting here for the rest of our lives. And now we're in Charlotte. I'm sure Charlotte, North Carolina is great. I do think North Carolina is a beautiful state. I have family from here. It's a beautiful state. So it's a state we want to visit. But coming off of a trip to Austria, Switzerland, Germany, going through Liechtenstein. Oh, it's a little bit of a letdown to be here.
Yeah.
In our New Schweinstein video, I spoke about my trip to Germany with my dad and sister when I was 16 years old and how that was such a life-changing trip for me. I feel like a pivotal moment in my life, or a moment in my life that I can look back on and know that there was a definite change from that trip. And I think taking this trip with you, both personally and professionally, and probably even relationship wise, not to get too much into that, it was a great trip.
This trip, for the first time for me, I really had a sense of how big our world is and how just a teeny tiny portion of that we occupy. I think after spending so much time in Mexico and the United States, I just assumed that naively that that's how the rest of the world works. And I think when you travel to different places, you can watch shows, you can watch movies, you can watch these videos, but until your body is physically there and you're hearing different languages and eating different foods and getting lost, I feel like a whole new world has been opened up, and I'm a little tired right now, so bear with me. It's hard. I feel like I can't. I hope that our videos do it justice, but I do feel like there's just this magical world out there, and like now that we've had a taste of it, it's magical, and that makes me cry apparently.
It feels like, as big as the world is, I think after taking this trip I can't help but feel like, I mean, we've got the bug. We've got the travel bug. I feel like you're crying because like we had to leave. We didn't. It wasn't a one-way ticket. Like,
we didn't want to leave. I'm still really sick. Greg keeps asking me if I'm okay walking through the airport, and no, I'm not okay.
The world feels like it's at our fingertips, but I'm not one to be trusted with feeling my fingertips because I don't have any.
That was good. That's good. How long have you been thinking of that one?
I just thought of it.
That was golden.
The problem with such a fun trip is that the highs are high, but the lows are low. Like, we wouldn't feel sad if it wasn't a fun trip, you know? So it's like we feel sad.
It really
to be here,
did
but
feel monumental.
How did we feel about taking this trip before we took this trip?
Oh my gosh. I would say so nervous. I think, like, look, you guys see our public life, but then I feel like, and sometimes this gets hard for us too, to separate like personal versus professional. Personally, Hillary and Greg were pumped. I've never been outside of Mexico or the United States, so I really had no idea what to expect. How are people gonna sound? Do people move fast or slow? Are people in a hurry? Is it gonna be cold or warm, or sort of what's the environment like? So many different things running through my mind, but Hillary personally was super but excited and anxious and ready to get there. Professionally and for Kinetic Kennons, I think I'm gonna speak on behalf of us both and say that we were extremely nervous. The reality is we've built our platform in Kinetic Kennons, as you guys know, in Mexico. And I feel like we just didn't really know what it would be like to film a video outside of Mexico. And so for that reason, I think we were anxious and nervous. And I remember the days leading up to our flight, it was like, we just wanted to get here, but not quite yet because we're not ready, because we were just so incredibly nervous. So excited, nervous, terrified, and we bit off all of our fingernails on the way over there.
Having said all of that, we are extremely excited about our upcoming adventures. Today just feels, it's like one of those little sad in-between adventure days. It does feel like today is the end of something, but I think it's just the end of the first chapter of a very long, wild, crazy, and adventurous book that we were just beginning to write.
That's the gate next to ours. That just ain't right. That ain't right, man. It ain't right.